Strawberry Roan. All right. Creepy Dave, I guess we're rolling.
Witchy woman.
Exactly, yeah.
There you go.
Nothing like talking about the past, folks. We are talking about the past here today.
No, I'm talking about Rebecca Lutes, the witch.
Exactly. What a witch she was. Well, folks, yeah, I'm Tom Daly, sketchy old Tom, here with my good friend, the Doctor of History, Shawn McCarthy. Shawn, how are you?
Very interested to hear more about this, Tom. This is a story I'm not really familiar with.
You're not familiar with this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. I wasn't either until it must have been, it was before the pandemic, I think like the fall of 2018 or 19. I'm up at Wilson's Point. It's the fall. I'm just there in the church, and there's a lady coming along, from, she lived in Ontario or something, but she grew up in the Moncton area. So she was doing that journey when people get to a certain stage in life and they come back and start retracing things.
Sure.
And she was loved the old graveyard and stuff like that. And she said, "Do you know any ghost stories?" So, of course, I told her the Wilson's Point ghost stories. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch the Ichabod Beckwith episode on the American Revolution and all that. So, and she said she was familiar with the Moncton area where she grew up. And she said, actually, there's a story about a Rebecca Lutes grave. Have you ever heard that one? I said, no, I haven't actually. Mm-hmm. So the way she spun it was, the story goes, she was a witch. And she's like, actually, she's a distant cousin of mine somehow. She's like, so, because I always joked about like, oh, you have some witch blood in you or whatever. And she said that Lutes name, which we're kind of familiar with, Lutes Mountain area, does go back to German, Dutch origin, something like that. And she said that they came up after the witch trials, which is very convenient. Okay. So, she said that they've been, around a long time, that name. So anyway, Rebecca Lutes' grave. Now, that's in the Moncton area, but we're not in the Moncton area. We are in Miramichi.
Indeed.
Oh, yeah, the Tell Me a Story podcast with myself and Shawn. And, so Rebecca Lutes' grave is what we're going to talk about right now. Yeah. A little bit of Moncton. What can we say about Moncton? It is the hub city of New Brunswick, is it not? It is.
It's not the largest city in New Brunswick.
Largest city in New Brunswick. Yeah. Home of the Capitol Theatre, home of the Pump House Brewery, and
the Avenir Center, I guess.
There you go.
The new big venue there.
There you go. So, lots going on in Moncton. So, the story...
Vito's Pizza.
Vito's Pizza. Still hanging in there after all those years. So, the story goes, from the research I was doing, it begins back in the mid-1870s. Okay, so it's...
Wow. That's pretty late.
It's pretty late. Yeah. It is. And, so it's... Picture this, mid-1870s, Moncton. It's a very dry summer. Several farm buildings burn down, and wells go dry. Fields that are left, they don't grow well from this drought that's happening. Also that summer, people started to show signs of consumption, which today we know better as tuberculosis. So it was pretty deadly back in those days. If you got that, you weren't going to last long. And, something else, the farm animals in the area start going missing, or some of them have been found with blood stains left in the farm. Yeah.
Okay.
So think about that. Your chickens and pigs and cows, presumably, your farm animals are either disappearing or, the signs that they've been bled out before they disappeared. So people immediately start to think that's creepy and possibly a witch is involved. And she's, taking the blood for some sort of rituals or whatever. So, immediately people are suspecting it's a witch, and for whatever reason, all the fingers point to a 16-year-old girl named Rebecca Lutes. So we don't know. That's pretty much where the story kind of starts. It's like, she's the witch. It's her fault.
Okay.
So, and then the legend says she was hung from the branch of a large poplar tree, and when she died, she was immediately buried at that spot. And not just buried, she's buried face down, not face up. So, the reason for that is because they believed if she was buried, on her back, she'd be able to dig her way up.
Wow.
That's how much they were afraid of this 16-year-old girl. And, and it doesn't stop there. Oh, no. People, even after she's been buried face down, they are still so afraid that some days later, some men return and pour a bunch of cement over the grave in case somehow she manages to turn around. If she managed to spin over.
Holy.
Spinning over in your grave, the old saying goes, and they thought she might just do that and claw her way back up through the earth, so they put a big old patch of cement over it. And we do have a photo, which we will show, of this strange patch of cement in a field outside the Moncton area. All right. So the grave can still be seen to this day, and the directions are the most East Coast directions you'll possibly ever get. After some driving on the Old Gorge Road, stopping just before you get to the old quarry, once there were some farm buildings there, but they're now fallen down. So if you go on Gorge Road,
After some driving,
yeah, and
5 minutes or 5 hours,
who
knows?
Who knows? Let us know, folks. If you want to do just that, get on Gorge Road. Yeah, drive for some time.
Right.
Yeah, the quarry's not there anymore.
The
farm buildings aren't there anymore either. But the grave is. That's the important part. The grave is, and there's actually photos of the grave. The Times and Transcript did do a story on this, and they got a photo too, so they found it years ago.
Right.
Anyway, some people claim when you go there that there's a black cat that you'll see sitting on the slab of cement. So that's very interesting. Yeah. And then, the story varies. Some people say the cat hisses at them. It's very standoffish and very angry when you go there. Other people say that the cat's very friendly. It'll rub up against your legs and stuff like that. So, of course, witches, black cats, all that sort of thing. Is this somehow the reincarnation of, cheers, Shawn, Rebecca Lutes? And, now more unsettling. Again, people do claim that when they visit the site, the cement, sometimes they see what they think is dried blood on the cement. So that's pretty creepy.
It is.
Other than there, of course, now no pictures have been found of that because the story goes it's either disappears or you take a photo and then it doesn't show up in the photo. And these stories are old too. They're probably from like the, whatever cameras you had back in those days before the digital age and cell phones and all that.
Sure.
And also others say they've gone, back to their car, get a friend, hey, come look at this. And the blood stains will have disappeared.
Right.
And the other thing that people have said, and this is the most common of all, those orbs. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
People say they see those orbs floating around the grave. You'll take the picture, develop it, or look at your phone later, and you'll see those little floating balls of spiritual activity, shall we say.
Back to episode 3 with aliens.
Yes. Yeah. That's right. That's right. So, is Rebecca Lutes actually buried there? That's the big question.
Okay.
What do the facts tell us? So, from the research I did, records show that Rebecca Lutes was a real person, and she did die. She died back in 1876, so that checks out. Okay. The time is right. Now, Rebecca Lutes, there's a bunch of them. There's ones from the 1930s. There's still 4 or 5 around today, all over the world, because I creeped all of you on Instagram. She died back in 1876, but she died on January the 2nd of that year.
Okay.
Now, that's a little bit. You're like, how would that work? Did they dig a grave, blow up at that time of year?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I do know they used to dig graves in the wintertime. Okay. I don't know what was going on in Moncton, but I know in Barnaby, where my father was a grave digger, there was this big iron rod that was just it must have weighed 200 pounds. I don't know. I could barely lift it today. Okay. And he said, we used to use that to dig graves. You had to break through the layer of frost and stuff like that. It was crazy, this big, massive thing. And you're just like, pick it up as much as you could. You know what I mean? Just slowly chipping away at that frozen ground. So, again, I don't know, the vaults and stuff we're familiar with today. So maybe they still dug the grave, or maybe, that's the first thing anyway that might not match up. Also, her cause of death. It doesn't say her cause of death. She was killed as a witch. It says she died of consumption. So,
right.
So we do have that too, and that would be tuberculosis. That matches up with the tuberculosis outbreak that was in 1875. Right. What else was going on in 1875? I couldn't find anything about it being as hot as the legend says, but it does say there was a very late seasonal nor'easter on March the 24th of 1875.
Okay.
So, close to a foot of snow fell at that time. That's pretty late.
Yeah.
And the snow falling that late would probably stay for some time, do a lot of damage, maybe freeze the roots of things, and that could cause, your fields to fail and all that sort of thing as well. And, so like I said, I couldn't find anything about being unusually hot at that time. But again, maybe the records just weren't there because, better than me, the records from that time period can be kind of spotty. The other thing, I don't know if this means anything or not, Moncton regained its town charter in 1875 after losing it back in 1862. So, again, probably nothing to do with this, just an interesting fact to throw in there. Now, another side of the story that it says there's definitely a grave there, but it has nothing nefarious about it.
Okay.
It's just an old family plot. And that used to be her family's land. So, Shawn, you can jump in about this because you, back to Semiwagon Ridge,
Yes.
legend says that you had a grave in your family that was back there with Gaelic written on it, was it not?
Yeah. So my great-great-great-grandfather and great-great-great-grandmother lived not too awfully far from where your parents are on the Semiwagon Ridge. And apparently my grandfather's cousin claimed that when he was a younger man, he saw a grave there, and that they would have died before the church in Barnaby was built, and so it was thought that they probably would have just been buried on their land.
Yeah. That's why I got thinking too. Like, this is pretty late for this sort of thing. Like we said, 1875 to still be buried on your family's land. But the thing I'm wondering if they come from that like German Lutheran, crowd. Maybe there is no graveyard. And my wife is Lutheran, so she knows it's like, it's not quite Catholic, not quite Anglican. Sure. What is this? And there's not much. I don't know if there was any Lutheran church at that time. I'm just surmising right now. It could be a case of, or it was so tight knit. There's still, the Saunders graveyard. There's still,
of course,
family plots out there anyway.
Yeah.
But interesting. She's the only one buried there. It was her family's land. And then a later owner of the land. So somebody buys the land some years later, and he's annoyed that he's now responsible for a grave.
Oh, okay.
Because under provincial law, apparently, did you know this? If there's a known grave on your land, you're responsible for making sure, I guess, it doesn't get just unearthed or whatever. Yeah. So he's the one, this guy that bought the land. He poured cement there to, I guess, protect it from grave robbers or wild animals or whatever. And he also put a fence around it to section it off. So I don't know why. I guess if they came like, hey, are you looking after that grave? You could at least say it's over there. I'm not, I didn't plant potatoes on top of her. Or whatever.
Right.
All right, so that's another part of the story. So it's kind of in between. There's definitely a grave there. It's nothing sketchy about it. And then there are those who says there is no grave there at all, and it was just a dumping ground for cement from the old quarry that I mentioned. There used to be the old quarry there, so they dumped the cement there, and people made up the story years later.
Okay.
So at this point, where am I in these notes? At this point, I have a note to myself saying, talk about the cunt with the ponytail. So, from the research that I did, there's this guy who referred to himself as a heritage development officer. Now, you, Doctor of History, what do you make of that? A heritage development officer. What?
So is this like a self-appointed title?
I never heard it before.
Okay.
And you're from the heritage world. I'm not. I'm an outsider in the world of heritage, now more than ever. And
I don't know. I mean, it sounds. It doesn't sound unfamiliar. I guess I'll say it that way.
He's with some museum in Moncton, I believe,
or
was at least, because this was a very old article. And I'm sorry if this guy's watching this. I don't really care if he is or not. It'd be great. Give us a thumbs down. Engage. Yell at me in the comments. He doesn't believe in the story at all. And his quote from an article was, and I wrote this down word for word because it just sounded so. He said, ludicrous. We love a ghost story, but give our ancestors some credit. Moncton in 1876 is not some crazy backwater podule. Mr. PhD, can you tell me what a podule is?
Podule.
That's what made me hate him when he started using words like podule.
Yeah, I've never heard.
No, sorry, not podule. Poddunk. Poddunk. Does that help?
Like podunk.
Podunk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
You've heard that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What does that mean?
Like, my understanding is like, again, kind of in that same kind of idea, backwoods, backward, hillbilly.
Okay.
Like
Interesting.
that
Moncton
sort of idea.
is not a podunk in 1876.
One horse town, that sort of thing.
Okay. So that it's a podunk. Okay. He's saying Moncton in 1876 is not some crazy backwater podunk where people are walking around scared of their shadows and practicing voodoo. Creepy Dave, a big fan of voodoo, I must say, and I respect voodoo. Why wouldn't I? It is black cultural Caribbean activity, is it not? This guy's clearly a racist. He hates the great nation of Haiti. Anyway, nobody in the town of Moncton in 1876 would be running around screaming, "A witch." So that was his quote to the CBC some years ago. If it happened, there would surely have been a record. The town, after all, did have a daily newspaper at the time. So that doesn't go far with me. It feels like if you did kill a young girl as a witch, you're not going to tell the newspaper.
That's
you know what I
probably
mean?
true,
You're going to kill somebody today, folks. Don't tell social media. That hasn't changed.
I guess I can understand, like I say, like I thought, when I first heard about this story, I figured it was something that would happen like in the 18th century. Like 1876 does seem like, so I can follow him as far as that goes. I wouldn't go probably as far as he did. And I'm thinking he's probably saying a lot of that stuff because he's going to get published, maybe.
Exactly. He seems like one of those assholes where it's like, oh, nothing bad ever happened in this town. You know what I mean? And we're familiar with these people here. It's like, oh, our history is just as clean as, the driven snow.
Right. True.
Yeah.
Yes. So I take his point there in the sense that maybe you wouldn't expect sort of, mob justice, you know what I mean, in Moncton at that time.
Yeah.
But as you say, you know what I mean, if this is happening in sort of I'm not familiar, those directions don't tell me a whole lot, as to where in Moncton this would have been in 1876, and if this was something where you could have had, a murder of this sort and kept it away from anybody. Mm-hmm. It's interesting, though. I wonder if all of this supernatural activity we talked, a couple of weeks ago about kind of energy sort of imprinting itself onto a place.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's a situation where maybe Rebecca Lutes is there. Maybe this guy is right. Maybe she's just upset about the fact that all these things are being said about her now so long after she's dead.
It could be. Maybe. It could be. That's the other part of the story, that there is somebody there and that, but yeah. Anyway.
But
this idea, the thing I don't like, it's like, oh, nothing bad would ever happen to you in Moncton. I can't even say that with a straight face.
Sure.
But I think I joked about you last week. I said, I can get hung from a tree tonight. In 2025 in Moncton, all I have to do is go there, say, you need to put the K back in the name, Moncton, after the great British officer, Moncton, who worked alongside General Wolfe to expel the Acadians from this province, which was a good thing. You say stuff like that, I can probably get myself hung.
Yeah.
is this a girl, that just wasn't popular in this, small town? Let's face it.
Sure.
New Brunswick's a small town.
Yeah. And I mean, again, we've heard similar kind of ideas years ago about, but the headless nun.
Yes.
That couldn't happen.
We're back
here.
in the headless nun situation. That's what really drove me crazy. Yeah.
Or the Dungarvan Hooper, like, oh no,
Yeah.
There's that one bad guy at the camp, and he would do it. But the average general
manly
man who does
I don't
manly
buy
things,
that for a second.
No.
Like this province, they love their mob mentality. You know what I mean? People are sheep. It's a conformist place. People do. They can talk about these badass lumberjacks all they want, but I saw people turn on each other. With COVID, I saw it with this last election we had. You know what I mean? People can't wait to stab you in the back. So what did I do? I had to go looking for answers myself. So I did the only logical thing. I created a fake ID, and I went on a form, and I started asking questions.
Okay.
So that's what I did. Sketchy Old Tom, 2008, asks a question about Rebecca Lutes' grave. Is there anybody in the Moncton area who has any experiences, any stories, particularly ones from a modern time period? And a lot of it was the same stuff over and over and over. But Daughter of Azazel, 69, did answer me and said, it was a big party spot back in the 80s, and there used to be a big headstone there, but town vandals broke it. And that's when the haunting started. So that's interesting. If there was actually a headstone there at one time, and it's gone. So I pressed her a little further and, asked, can you tell me more about that? That sounds really interesting because I hadn't seen that anywhere else. And she said, that is when people started seeing Rebecca's ghost walking the Gorge Road at night. So that was interesting, I thought. And she said, other people say they see her weeping at the grave where her stone once was. I heard the asshole who broke her stone got lung cancer and died not long after. Hope that's true. Karma's a bitch. Lol. So that was good. That was interesting. And then I asked again if she believed in Rebecca's ghost. What did she think actually happened? And she said, I do believe it, and I believe she was a good witch. I have a relative who's over 100 years old, and she said she's heard that story ever since she was a child. And she also heard that Rebecca could heal people. Okay. So, and that people, reached out to her. So that's interesting too. If there is this like consumption tuberculosis outbreak, and there is some 16-year-old girl who maybe knows some herbal recipes or something like that, or you know what I mean, then something like as big as tuberculosis comes along and she can't heal that, and then people turn on her. That could easily be the case too.
Potentially.
So I thought that was interesting because that came from, thank you, what was it, Daughter of Azazel 69.
Yes.
But, yeah, thank you for reaching out to Sketchy Old Tom 2008. Great usernames and great numbers, I must say. Rebecca Lutes. There's a movie, Shawn.
Is there?
Like all good ghost stories. Oh, fuck yeah. There's a movie called Rebecca's Grave. And I saw the trailer.
Yeah.
It's supposed to come out in 2008. Remind you of anything? Okay.
Oof.
It's not good.
There's some dark forces at work here.
There is.
I am a believer.
It's not Spirit Cove bad. But it's not good. Okay.
Few things are.
No, nothing in this world. Nothing this side of hell. So yeah, like I said, I saw the trailer. It feels very, amateur, not to say I'm, Daniel Day-Lewis by any means, or we said that of ourselves often, but it's, yeah. Anyway, but maybe whatever. It's kids fooling around trying to have fun. So yeah, but there is a second one. Okay, so this one's very interesting. Okay. This looked like it was actually well done. There's a Facebook page and a poster for Rebecca's Grave. That's just what it's called, Rebecca's Grave. It's a movie. And around 2017, you see the first post showing up and stuff like that. And the page today has like 22,000 followers.
Wow.
So it's big. And tons of comments on everything they post. So
we're going to tag that page when we post this video, right?
It gets better. Oh, yeah. So there's posts, and there's even posts in the comments section. You can always believe that. People,
of course,
saying about the...
Comment, we'll believe you.
Comment, we'll believe you, folks. Come on, you Chinese bots. Come on, Winnie the Pooh, get them out there. Yeah. So there's posts saying that people... Yeah, there's posts saying people have screened it. Okay. Then some time jumps ahead. There is opening credits, which look great.
Okay.
And the opening credits actually say Focus Features. Creepy Dave, Mr. Film. You've seen that, haven't you? It's like, yellow text, Focus Features, and there's like some circles. It's kind of, I've seen it. It's an indie company. Okay. So that made me really like, holy crap. Is that real? Anyway, so that really sparked my interest, and it's really cool opening credits. It's like Halloween with like that lovely industrial New Brunswick look, you know what I mean? It's like the small town shots, and then you see the dirty, mills and stuff like that. Not shitting on Moncton, our city is just as worse. But it's like
dirty mills all over,
Yeah, it's our we're the New Jersey folks, and if you haven't guessed, this is the New Jersey of Canada, and we
have a New Jersey, and New Jersey has a New Brunswick.
Folks in New Jersey, reach out to us. We love you on the Jersey Shore.
Of course,
come to Bay of Inn days. We'll put the Jersey Shore up against.
If you dare, folks.
Yeah.
If you dare.
Take the challenge, Joycey. Yeah. Home of Bam Bam Bigelow. There's a wrestling reference.
Greetings from Asbury Park. Yeah,
Greetings from Asbury Park.
R.I.P. Bam Bam.
R.I.P. Bam Bam. Yeah. So there's a shot of the grave, like I talked about, too. And they do it. It's creepy as hell. There's like people decorated for Halloween. And it just has that feeling. Oh, it's, like the town in Halloween, the original movie, got fucked by the city of St. John. So it has like the rich, Yeah, I'm like, it's a great opening anyway. So I'm like, that got me excited. And then there was supposed to be a screening on October 31st, 2023.
Okay.
That's cool. So I went to looking for that. There was an event for it and all this, and this. And then from what I found, that event was canceled mysteriously.
Okay.
And so that sucks. But then I keep scrolling, through this, and there's posts from February the 10th of this year, 2025. And it says that it had a runtime of 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Okay.
And the difficult decision was made to cut 90 minutes. That's a lot. Is it not creepy, Dave, Mr. Film? You're cutting 90 minutes from this 2 hour, 30-minute movie. Then
the show's only an hour.
Yeah, true. I guess. Wow. Not a feature anymore, is it? Yeah. Then they reshot stuff. They've then reshot 12 scenes and added new characters. So that's starting to sound like a mess. March the 16th of 2025, the day after we did the Masterpiece, Is He Awake? And then proceeded to do a Masterpiece podcast after Who's More Irish that day.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Who won that poll, by the way?
That poll, Who's More Irish?
Yeah.
I won that in the end.
Oh, congratulations.
I gotta reshare that. Yeah. Because it was the late votes came in.
Oh, okay.
All you people in Miramichi, you didn't vote for Shawn. All the people from Character Matters, you didn't vote for him. They wouldn't take a side. And then my asshole friends in Vancouver all voted for me. And it was like, that's what pushed me over by
okay. By what?
75 to 25.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah. I told you to keep it close. Yeah.
I thought that was close. Yeah.
Jesus. What the hell's wrong with you? Come on.
Yeah. So we
I
started
deserve
naming
at
names.
least 40.
So we started naming names like Annika and Elise and all the people that didn't vote. Yeah.
There's revenge on Peter Mitchell, but anyway.
It is. So anyway, apparently on March the 16th of this year, this movie is now circulating on the film circuit. We've heard that one before too. The movie's going around the film circuit as of that date. March the 22nd, there's talk about a VIP screening. And again, in the comments section, there's people saying, yeah, this is great. You know, they're praising it. Yeah, it looks great. And April 5th of that year, there's a post about a composer being linked to the project. And it shows pictures and a big paragraph, and it says, this is not music, it's a seance, and stuff like that. Then finally, this is where things get really weird. On April the 15th, just 4 days before my birthday, it says, word for word, I wrote this down because I wanted to get it right. We're going dark for now. The premiere is still coming. The reckoning is still coming. But this page will remain silent while we finalize something you'll never forget. This was never about hype. This was about history. That's a dangerous thing to say, isn't it, Doctor of History?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
That's how you make enemies in the film world. I know.
I mean, no one knows history more than I do, but I mean, even I know. Like, that's a hard one to pull off.
And Ponytail Guy already hates them, so we can probably figure that out. And history doesn't ask for attention; it waits, and then it returns with proof. So, to those who've been watching, stay ready, because when we come back, it won't be for applause. All comments have been disabled. This isn't a conversation, it's a countdown. Signed, Rebecca. So, that's where we're at.
Bold.
And very bold. So people couldn't comment on that one, positive or negative. Some people have like a phantom memory or a Mandela effect sort of thing. They're like, I was at it. Yeah, I was. And other people are like, am I crazy? I could have swore I was at the Capitol Theater, for something or about Rebecca's grave. And then people are like, no, this whole thing was a stunt to get attention. You know what I mean? From some filmmaker that has no, that isn't going to do it. It's weird. It's some 4D chess, if that's the case. And because there's like a name linked to it. Some say it was like a found footage movie they were going to try to make and it never got done, or it was all, an inside game. And so that's weird too. Even this movie, and some people are like, you're talking about the 2008 movie. No, that never got done. This one here is got done. I saw it. Yeah. It's weird. People can't agree on anything about this. And that's
wild.
It's wild. That's where we're kind of left with this story. And like, there's those three roads that you go down. Yes, she was a witch, and all these things happen. The place is cursed. The other story that no, she was a girl that was, buried there. And then that's kind of interesting too, because that feeds into the daughter of Azazel story. Like people would go and party there, and maybe that's what disrupted her. You know what I mean? Now the sightings, the only time I heard about the sightings was from that woman, who I assume is a woman. 2025, you never know. Daughter of Azazel, 69. But for now, we'll say you're a woman. And boom! What happened there? The camera just stopped. Okay, it's Rebecca's ghost. We'll wrap this up. But it's very interesting. So like I said, the story from Daughter of Azazel. Yeah, that's what. Or is there no grave at all? But I want to believe, like all these things. You know, it's kind of like we say, the Headless Nun, Dungarvan and Whooper, the story's close to home. It always feels like something happened in these places to cause the story to, get started in the first place.
Yeah. I think, I would tend to agree. I mean, it seems strange that, I guess it's possible, but it seems strange that that's a dumping ground and then somebody decides, that's, and I'm going to invent this whole story.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Around a woman who actually died.
In
1876.
You picked you picked a name from that time period.
That's it. Either you're doing a lot of research, and if so, kudos. Or you got really lucky. You know?
You got that's it.
That seems really strange. But that's it. But it's an interesting story, and like I said,
you didn't know that one. I know.
I
did not know it until, like I said, that lady at Wilson's Point, asked me about. We just got to talking ghosts and stuff in the fall, and she's like, "That's cool because Moncton's so close to home." But and like we said, a much bigger city than us. But Never heard that one. And there's tons of information out there. You know what I mean? It's like
Clearly, yeah.
Yeah.
So kudos to you too, Tom. You did your research.
I did my research. That's more notes than I ever did for anything, isn't it?
Hey, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I wasn't off book for that one. But,
no.
It was a lot of, like I said, going back and forth.
Yeah.
And,
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's an interesting story for sure.
Yeah. So, folks, Hub City of Moncton, reach out to us.
Absolutely.
If you're the director of this movie, tell us why the comments were disabled, because we're not going to disable the comments on this YouTube video, or on you can comment on Spotify as well. So,
Okay, well, there you go. Yeah.
If you're,
Mm-hmm.
So, where should we go from here, Shawn?
Well, I don't know. I think maybe we want to just maybe kind of throw out the idea, and maybe you can let us know if it might be something that we should pursue. Just as we were talking about this in the week leading up to it, I did a little bit of digging on Ellen Koo.
The
so-called Witch of the Miramichi. So maybe that could be a future episode as well.
It can be.
Yeah.
And shout out to our friends. We hope it came from the Maritimes, because they are always giving us love on Instagram and Facebook, and they did an episode on Mother Koo. Because like so many people in this area from Miramichi, she did go to their neck of the woods in Nova Scotia eventually. Yeah. But we'll see if we can get a good Miramichi version of Mother Koo here. How'd she get the name Mother Koo? What did she do to those cows? Find out when we do the Mother Koo episode, folks. Yeah.
Very best.
All right,
so
Creepy Dave's artwork, check it out. David Jardine Coffee Doodles, link in the description below. And follow Character Matters Miramichi, the company that Shawn and I are part of. And there's stuff that's going on all this summer. So look us up, follow, like, whatever. Put the angry face. I'm trying to get the Infinity Gauntlet, they call it. Sometimes I've got the thumbs up, the heart, and the what is it? The wow, and the ha-ha. And I need to get the care and the angry face on the one post. If you can get all 6 of those,
right?
That's the dream. If you can get the Infinity Gauntlet, they call it. Yeah.
So do it for Tom, folks.
Do it for Tom.
That's it.
I want some hate. I want some ha-ha. I want some thumbs up. I want some love. I want some care. I want some wow. I want them all. Bring the hate.
You do that and we'll do the snap.
We'll do the snap. All right. Thank you, folks.
All the best.